is actually going to be the teams on the cusp.
Yeah,
So all of the National League Central is like I wrote an article about this the other day. I mean, what are they doing? Because they're all like two series sweeps away from being bottom of the division,
yeah,
and
I know.
all like a week away from being top of the division. But
Yeah,
as a result,
the,
none of them are actually doing. They could all end up where only one of them
yeah,
gets in
yeah.
because they're all playing each other so much.
Yeah. That's the thing is they're all playing each other. But I think even with that, I think most of them, I think they are in the wild card race, aren't they?
Oh, they're in the race,
Because a lot of the other National League teams have not been very good.
but it's
The
possible.
ones that aren't
What
first place.
as it stands, Washington and the Phillies are the wild card game.
Oh,
And then you've obviously got the Diamondbacks, Rockies, and Padres are all in the shout for the wild card as well. Um, but what those five teams do, I really don't have a clue. So you assume that the Cubs and Brewers are going to buy. They're
yeah,
not going to sell. They're probably
yeah.
going to
They need to
buy. But
buy because
then it's a
they're
question:
sort
how
of
much do you buy?
because they are the Cubs and Brewers the ones that are most sort of committed, aren't they, to
Yeah,
winning right now?
but then they've got the dilemma of like, do we burn all of our prospects trying to go for the win the division and try and get into the postseason? Because if
Yeah,
that goes wrong,
yeah. I don't think you do that, but I think it also sort of depends what you can get, isn't it? It's basically I think the Zaidi school of thinking is that it's just if there's a good deal out there, then you do it. If you're getting someone that's
I don't think teams are going to be that restrained.
no, they're not. But you're asking me what I would do, are you? Or maybe not. But that's what I would do.
No, as in what might happen. I don't think there's any chance that all of the teams are that sensible.
No.
Because that's what you should do. You should be looking to make a good deal, but they don't, do they? Teams very much go for buy or sell most of the time.
Yeah, completely black and white.
Yeah, I mean, otherwise you never trade Clyde Torres for Oldest Chapman. Like, so I expect you're going to see like the Cubs are going to make deals to try and win this year. Then whether they should or not, I don't really know. I think they should be sensible, like you say, but
Yeah, I don't know what would the Cubs get though. What would they go for?
the well bullpen, I suppose,
Yeah,
inevitably.
Will Smith.
But then the thing is with bullpen arms is there's such a sliding scale. Is like, do you get like a Jake Diekman
Yeah,
sort of guy that's like a sort of a project, but could be really really good in the short
yeah,
term if you get him fixed, but he's not going to cost much. Or like you said, do you go Will
yeah.
Smith?
To be honest with the Giants, they've got a whole range. They've got a whole range of pitchers you can
Yeah,
shop
but
for.
obviously
It's
around all
like
of the same
you go for
teams.
Will Smith, who's well probably the best relief pitcher in baseball this year. 23 out of 23 saves. It's like a sub 2 ERA, isn't it?
Yeah,
Or or there's like Watson for another like an extra lefty in the pen who's like reliable and experienced.
yeah.
Or Sam Dyson.
But so I
Or
think that's the challenging stuff for these teams is well, any team that's contending is going to be interested in getting a reliever, aren't they?
yeah, I mean that's the thing, isn't it? The last few seasons of that's where the that's where all the interest is.
And there's
But although since a couple of years ago, it seems to have sort of there was sort of a couple of years, wasn't there, when it was like you need good relievers. So when like the Chapman trade happened, for example, and all those relievers got the those name closers got the big contracts like Chapman, Janssen, and Melanson,
yeah,
those big contracts and stuff. But then the last couple of years, I think teams have basically learned that you basically need a deep bullpen, and there's no way you can just buy a deep bullpen. You need to um, have cheap guys and develop some of your own guys and stuff. So um, yeah, I mean, I don't think people will be giving away loads and loads for relief pitchers or as much as they used to.
no, I don't think they necessarily will, but there's a quantity question, like you said about having depth.
Yeah,
Some of these contending teams
I
are
think
going to need two or
I
three.
think there's a yeah. Well, like you're talking about that with the Cubs, if they're going for relief pitchers, I think getting if they could get like two just like reliable guys that haven't been incredibly dominant, So from the Giants, so they could get like Dyson and Watson rather than getting Will Smith. I think
That would be
that'd suit them
better.
a lot better because they basically the more I think the more you need relief pitchers, you're better off just getting more than getting one like really really good one.
Yeah, and they have just got Kimbrel, so that's something.
Yeah, although he's not actually been that good, has he? I don't think.
No, he's not started well. Um, so I think then you've got like the Cardinals and the Pirates are in a bit of limbo as well. The Reds aren't out of it by any means.
Yeah, the Cardinals have basically got a young team, haven't they? But I don't know whether they're like got a stacked farm or anything at the moment. And then they've also got like veterans. They've got a nice mix, but it's also one of those where they can sort of go either direction.
Yeah,
I mean, it's like them not making the playoffs is not the end of the world because they've still got a lot of young players. On the other hand, they could trade some of those to get guys to support like Ozuna and Goldschmidt and Carpenter. Although I think Carpenter's not been very good, has he? And
Carpenter's been rubbish. But
Goldschmidt's
Goldschmidt's
struggled.
just had his annual boost series
Yeah,
against the Giants, so
like
he'll be
it's
fine.
exactly the same last year. Whereas until about this point last year, he wasn't very good, and then played the Giants, who he always just absolutely destroys, and then did it again. So he's probably good now. Again.
I didn't realise that Ozuna's actually injured.
Oh,
Multiple fractures to his fingers in his right
well,
hand.
maybe they shouldn't buy then.
Yeah, that might change stuff. You've got the Diamondbacks who are in it, but also started
They've just
rebuilding.
started selling.
Could move Greinke.
I think they should sell.
I saw someone linked with David Peralta the other day. I think it was the Cubs.
Oh, really?
Actually. Yeah.
I mean, because he's probably got a bit of value, hasn't he? To
Yeah.
some people.
Well, he should do.
Yeah.
And in the American League, there's kind of less of those teams in limbo, I guess, is the thing.
Yeah, for the last couple of years, it's basically been two tiers, hasn't it, the American League? It's the good teams and the really bad teams.
Yeah.
Although you are starting to get some of those bad teams actually being all right. Like the White Sox are actually all right this year.
Yeah.
But they're definitely not going to buy because they shouldn't buy.
And the Angels, Rangers, and Athletics are being competitive. It's not quite as clear cut as like last year, where you just had like rubbish and really good. There's some teams in the middle-ish. But
yeah, the Red Sox are sort of one of those, aren't they? I mean, they're still pretty good record, but in terms of where they are compared to the other teams in their division and in the wild card, they are sort. They are sort of in a.
You're chasing a second wild card spot job, isn't it? Really?
Yeah.
But I guess.
But they've got to buy because they are. Well, they've not got like a bit of stocked farm or anything where they could.
No. They have to go for it, really. I think.
It's like if they can get a couple of pieces that is going to make a big, like a bit of a difference, they've got to do it. Yeah. So I keep getting a bit distracted by the cricket, to be honest.
There's a replay as well.
Yeah. Have we got anything else to say about trades?
Not really. I'm trying to think of other players that could be on the market to get moved.
Yeah, but I've mainly just been thinking about Giants ones, to be honest.
The Reds have got Tanner Roark and Puig if they look to sell.
Yeah.
Which they probably should.
Yeah, maybe, but like I say, with a lot of those teams in the Central, it's sort of a matter of, a bit like we were saying with the Giants, it's probably a matter of waiting a bit. Like the Reds are 4.5 games back on them, but it's like if they go on a good run, like in a week they could easily be like...
They could be top of the division quite comfortably.
Or like 1 game back or something. Or they could be like almost 10 games back. They have a terrible run, so it's one of those that's, I think they'll probably just got to wait a bit.
Yeah, Zach Wheeler's one of the bigger names, along with Smith, Bumgarner. Zach Wheeler's one of the other trade names.
Yeah.
He's not having a great year.
Yeah, but he's got a bit of control, hasn't he?
No,
Oh, he's
free
free
agent.
agent.
Yeah,
Okay. Well, that was me. I think me being completely wrong again then.
yeah, yeah, pretty much. Um,
Because
th-
I always think of him as a young pitcher, but I guess
he's 29.
he's not. He's not a young pitcher.
I think that's probably mainly just from
I
Giants
think it's
fans.
Giants fans always moaning about any player they trade away that then becomes good. And basically, he had like a good year last year in his like age 28 season.
Yeah. Okay.
This,
So
this sort of yeah,
yeah, he's one of these stuff guys who it's like if he gets figured out, like last year went on an
yeah,
amazing run. He's going to end up. He might go across New York actually, and there's a possibility of that. Or he goes to like the Astros and doesn't give up a run in the second half of the year.
yeah, because they'll just fix him.
And then so the Orioles have got Michael Givens. They could trade him to a
Yeah,
team for reliever.
yeah. Is he been all right?
He's not great, but
But he's one of these guys that sort of like has been good and he's like experienced and got. And the thing is, relievers as well is, it's based as much as he's like, well, he's not super old, and it's sort of like, do you think he's done or not? Because if you think he's not, there's always a decent chance of guys like that they just have like a dominant spell and give up like
yeah,
one or two runs the rest of the season.
yeah. So he's another one of those guys that goes into the Cubs, Twins, Red Sox. Any of these teams could trade for him.
Yeah,
Um, Marcus Stroman is another one on the starter market, so it's kind of him, Bumgarner, Wheeler.
yeah,
Um, hold on, I'm just going to check this. I think Stroman's got another year of control. Yes, he does. So they'll obviously hope to get a fair bit from him.
yeah. Givens
For
is
him.
surely getting traded, isn't he? Even if there's not for much, but it could like yeah, because of how he's performed this year and you get him cheap, that could be quite a good pickup for someone, I think. 'Cause
Yeah,
he's striking out 13 batters per nine this year.
yeah, exactly. So
He's still got stuff,
yeah,
and yeah, and has been good for like the rest of his career, pretty much until this year. But like they're definitely trading him because I mean, well, the Orioles are the absolute sell team. If there's absolutely anything they've got of any value at the moment, because they
yeah,
just need to build up any sort of value in their organisation.
yeah, pretty much. Just
Yeah, they've just got absolutely nothing. Well, until they drafted Adley Rutschman, really, it's sort of like they've not really got much in the whole organisation, and they're absolutely no way they're going to compete in the next like 5 years.
yeah,
It's just
it's a pretty bleak situation, isn't it?
yeah, and he's out of contract, so he's a free agent as well. So it's like yeah, trade him now or get nothing for him.
Yeah.
So he's going somewhere, even if it's for very little.
Nicholas Castellanos is one of the hitters. He's not hitting as well this year, but his defense has improved.
That's weird. Yeah,
He's got like an 800-ish OPS. Obviously, the Phillies are a potential one there, but as I wrote the other day, the issue with them is if Arrieta's got this bone spur issue and he's not been pitching well,
yeah,
they kind of would need to buy too much,
yeah. They're like almost too far
and
away.
they're sliding. They're
It's-
sliding very, very
It's
fast.
sort of it's sort of shame, but also sort of quite nice. We've given all our
Oh, actually,
pre-season
Givens has
ranting
got a bit of
about them.
control.
Has he?
Yeah, he's got a couple more years.
Don't I just get everything wrong? It seems like it. I think we actually need to go now anyway.
Okay, yeah, let's stop. Let's stop now. Let's shut up.
Okay, goodbye everyone.
Bye.
Check out the website.